Resident of Hayden. I live on North Ramsey Road, which you were just all discussing. And as you guys are planning to cut through to Lancaster and all that, I'm just foreseeing a very nasty situation for myself, my family, and my neighbors. You're going to cut the road wider, get vehicles even closer to my house, increase the traffic on the road, and it's already a mess. 35 miles an hour, first of all, the setbacks that we have, 35 is too fast because people think 35 is 40, 45, even 50. I talked with Roger and I emailed a little while back, and we got some the solar power signs put up. Mixed reviews on that. I see people slow down. I see people give total disregard and just keep going the speed limit that they're going. I've seen one guy flip it off and hit his gas. People are idiots, complete idiots that are driving that road. And we live with it daily. So it's a foregone conclusion from what I can see that you guys are going to go ahead and cut through there. That's happening. So mitigation has to happen. And 35 is not acceptable. Commercial traffic, 18-wheelers, Anheuser-Busch vehicles going up to the facility up there, not acceptable. It shakes my house. And by the time they get up to where I'm at, you have the northbound sign down by Dakota. People might slow down there, they forget in 5 seconds. By the time they're at my house, they're going 45, 50 again, right in front of my house. In front of the bus stop where my kids wait for school every morning, and not that far off the road, people are flying by. I've had one guy, I was backing out of my driveway. He had to slow down. God forbid he slow down for somebody backing out of the residential driveway. So he gets right on my bumper, if I use a nice word, throws his hands out the windows, and it turned into a shouting match because I was ticked off. And so when I asked him, how do you drive in your neighborhood when somebody pulls out of their driveway? His response, I live on 10 acres. That was his response. Haughty little, and I don't mean haughty less than hot, I mean like an a-hole. So that's the attitude of people who drive down Ramsey. They think that it's theirs to use and abuse. Meanwhile, the people who live on that street are the ones who suffer. So for the minor inconvenience of somebody maybe slowing down, maybe you guys change the speed limit to 30 and have it enforced, which it hasn't been. I talked to Deputy Lyons, if I have that name correct, because there's an issue that I'm dealing with an individual who goes by and honks their horn every day at 5:15. It's about to happen right this very second. Every single day. So I talked to Deputy Lyons. He informed me that Mr. Sadfile, am I pronouncing that correctly? Okay. Satterfield, sorry. Okay.
I've been called worse.
That he asked for enforcement to stop while people got used to those signs. Well, it needs to come back because they've been up for a while now. And like I said, there's mixed reviews on those signs. So just a little quick math for you guys. From Prairie to Wyoming is a 2-mile stretch, okay? If there were two people driving 35 and 30 miles an hour respectively, and they didn't have to slow down for Prairie, and they're just driving straight through, already going that speed limit, in that 2 miles, the person who's going 5 miles an hour slower would have only spent 36 seconds longer driving. That's assuming there's no stop or slow downs in between, which we know that's not true, because Hayden has a stop sign, and Honeysuckle has a stop sign. So we're talking seconds, mere seconds, if people were actually doing the speed limit, which they're not, because it's not enforced. So there is a multitude of problems that are occurring on the road where I live, my family lives, my next-door neighbors, they have 2 kids that use the bus stop. 2 doors down, my daughters are friends with the little girl who's the granddaughter over there, and that lady has like 10 kids over there using the bus. And this is the street that we live on. We are residents of Hayden, and you guys are making a wider road for people who don't live in Hayden. So when I've emailed both Ed and Roger, I said, you guys think that we're second-class citizens. That's how I feel like we're treated. I guarantee any of you who live in a regular residential neighborhood would not accept people going even 35 on your street. I've got 35, 40, 45 on up to 50. That's what we live with. It's dangerous. My kid's turning 15 in December. He's going to be driving. How would you feel about your kid pulling out onto that road where people don't give a rat's you know what about you or your house? So we can't change the way that people are.
So you've got one more minute.
Okay, I'll finish up. We can't change the way that people are, but we can mitigate and we can change things there. So a slower speed limit, just some ideas that I've thought of. Maybe more of the solar power signs so people who are forgetful remember. Paint the yellow lines black in the middle so it doesn't look like you're on 95 or 90 or whatever. There are, I had other ones that I mentioned to Ed that maybe he could pull up in an email later that I don't recall. But there are mitigation efforts that can and need to happen if you guys care about the citizens of Hayden, especially along Ramsey Road, which is highly residential. Halfway between Prairie and Honeysuckle starts a whole line of homes. There is residential from there all the way up past to Wyoming, and then commercial traffic, route them out Prairie to 95. They do not need, there's no reason that they should be going up Ramsey. None whatsoever. They can go around and they can hit up that industrial complex that's, off Warren up there. They can do that.
So I just need to have you wrap up your comments.
That's it. So I appreciate you listening. We'll see what happens, but if nothing happens, I'll be back in here for sure.